together for.
So welcome to Metropolis. Any of you been here before at all? Couple, good. I'd like to think world famous. Very much growing for us. We've doubled our turnover in 4 years and we plan to do the same thing again in the next 3.
I just want to thank you all personally for being here. I know some of you have come from international spaces. I know people have come in from India, Canada, Glasgow. For one reason, the Asian Music Seminar represents, this is the first event of its kind, the unity in the Asian music industry. And I don't just mean within the UK, I do mean all 4 corners of the globe. You can tweet at Asian Music Seminar, that screen up there is live tweets. Music Managers Forum is going to lead this. Warm welcome for John Webster, aka Webbo. He's the chairman, so please welcome Paul Knowles on stage. This guy knows what he's talking about. Please welcome Nick Hawkes.
You know, if you're a budding songwriter, it feels like, you know what, writing songs is kind of what I'm best at. Don't spend all of your time trying to immerse yourself in how do I run my YouTube channel, how do I make...
Everybody put your hands together, very much silent.
How do you balance covering your costs with the huge risk that you would face in losing a lot of money?
And I remember the first gig that I ever did, we got paid £50. And out of that we had to pay for petrol and a bit of food, and we were left with like about £5 each, and even that was like, we got paid for something we liked doing.
The rest of the acts, the Freddie McGregors, the Gregor Isaacs, all of the names that people know and respect, all stopped selling. And they stopped selling because there was no one looking out their interests, no one actually doing it, because they were doing what Terry was asking earlier on. I can't do it myself now. Yeah, and it doesn't work.
Everybody, Toshi is the international marketing manager for Metropolis Music. Yasser Ranger from BBC Asian Network. He plays a new music show. Rishi Rich is in his house. Rishi, please join us on stage. Samir Ahmed from Switch PR, formerly of Media Moguls. Amir Yaqub, he worked on Rihanna's new album Unapologetic in this very studio. Majority green, we keep playing. Remember, you control this.
If you make music for something that you're really passionate about, that's when people will actually feel it.
I mean, I don't think that the song's bad necessarily. I think the production value isn't there.
My name is Nicole, I'm Grants Coordinator at PRS Music Foundation.
Quick show of hands if you heard of the Momentum Fund.
Great.
What does the PPL do? Who are you? And why do you matter?
We're the organisation that licenses sound recordings.
What's happening is Asian artists were not able to fund our music like English artists are able to.
Is the Business Development Director, Business Affairs Directors at Asian Music Publishing. I'd like to invite also our 2 friends from PRS, Dr. Banerjee. Please join us on stage, thank you. Intellectual property has a copyright. That copyright can be protected, and we enforce that for our clients. That's what we do. When someone's breaching that, am I right? We champion it. We say, hang on, your problem is now our problem because we've done a deal.
One of the reasons that we've created Asian Music Publishing is because we realise that this community of creative people has been left behind somehow, or could be left behind.
Simon Long and our lovely friend from Musician Union, please come and join us.
If I'm working with the artist in India and I want to sign that artist, how's that possible? Because obviously they've got a different law in India and they've got a different law in the UK.
Just make sure that the terms that are agreed are terms that would stand up in the court of law in this country.
It was a brilliant day altogether because you got to get the whole spectrum of how the music runs on its own and not just making of music.
Brilliant idea, loved it.
Very, very educational.
Out of all the seminars I've been to, it's probably been the most productive as well.
community needed something like this. And I was delighted that Terry invited us to come today, because I think it's a first step in what's going to be absolutely awesome.
Hearing everybody's reactions from a business point of view, from marketing to mixing, and everybody had a different opinion, and I thought it was probably very useful for the artists.
Having to pay fees to get your music onto like channels, then you find out you don't really need to do that.
An extremely impressive panel, and I found some very informative stuff, and I think it's some great work that AMP are doing.
I think it's absolutely brilliant. New intakes on like the whole publishing, royalties business.
Like a lot of times I've seen people here at shows or at other places, and you just get to say hello to them. You don't really get to talk to them or talk about projects or network. And I've got about 15-20 cards, business cards of people today, so it's really good in that sense of connecting people.
Up next, we've got a gentleman who's sort of come from Southall. A lot of you heard from him talk today, and he moved off to India and did a bunch of Bollywood hits. So let's hear it for Ash King.
The song's called Ti Amo. किसी को सपना लगे तू, किसी को बहती हवा.
It was such an amazing turnout, and we've worked really hard, seriously. And Terry's obviously amazing, and everybody loves him. So we had a really good turnout.
For me, it's about getting feedback from the industry, seeing new energy, getting a lot of people's feedback on what the state of affairs is in the current climate, and then finding solutions to the issues that they have. Like, I know a lot of people got issues with publishing or issues with management, stuff like that. So having the MMF and having background and all the trade bodies there to support was what I thought was most useful.
Falling so crazy in love. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.